Hi, this is a continuation of a video on analyzing the YouTube Religious Identity Challenge survey by snowfeet and websnarf. I'm going to take a look at the issue of religious identity grouped against all the other survey questions I've kept in my analysis. Here's an overview. Freeze the frame if you want to study it further. If the text is too tiny, check the PDF in the description box. Also, I've put all the available 33 columns into the description box, so if there are any combinations that you are curious about, you can let me know. For the frequentist tests, I put 1 star if age 0 would be rejected in a standalone test with 5% significance level, 2 stars if it's rejected at 5% divided by 31 level, and 3 if it's rejected at 0.1% divided by 31 level. 31 is the number of tests. For the Bayesian test, I'm using an approximate sign if I'm using my numerical methods. A blanked out result indicates that the test was impractical to perform. A p-value in parentheses indicates that the requirements for the chi-square test weren't met. Non-answers, where possible, was removed before the analysis. I can go more in detail through these tables if you'd like to. If so, let me know. Some of the missing results caused by too many groups could be alleviated either by joining groups or by looking at differences only between atheists and agnostics, or between atheists and Abrahamic followers, for instance. But that requires more effort. The most surprising thing here for me was that no dependency between religious identity and religious upbringing was detected. There were indications. As a standalone frequentist test, its independence is either borderline rejected or not, depending on which test you trust. The Bayesian test says that the data we got is evidence against dependence. Surely there is such a dependency, but the data was not sufficient to detect it. It's a 4x4 table, so lots of data or very strong dependencies in the groups are needed to find such a dependency. However, further grouping did not yield any different results. Maybe participants in this survey are different from the rest. Other than that, the belief questions gave very clear results, here illustrated with religious identity versus evolution. There's no surprise here though. All the other belief questions yielded similarly strong results. The question about feminism may have been ill-posed, as different people have different ideas about what it means. However, the data could still be analyzed, but the conclusion from all the tests seems to be that there is no dependency between religious identity and the stance towards feminism. Since I went to the pain of dividing the world into USA and the rest, I'm going to show the results here too. Again, all results point towards no dependency. That could, however, be an artifact of the way the survey was collected, or a case of too little data. It is pretty well established that there is such a dependency. When it comes to switching religion once, several times, or never in the past, there seems to be a difference in the religious identity groups. All tests point towards this conclusion and points pretty strongly. As you can see, people of the Abrahamic faith seem less likely to have switched multiple times before reaching their current faith, and they seem more likely than the rest never to have switched. With agnostics, it's the opposite way. I was also asked to see about dependency between religious identity and a view on judgment questions, and between the judgment questions and stance towards masturbation. I'm choosing to look at the question about concerns for judgment, yes-no. As can be seen, there is evidence for dependence in this table. The biggest contributions to this dependency seems to come from those of the Abrahamic faiths, who answered yes more times than expected under age 0 independence. As for the snicker-worthy subject of masturbation, I am sorry to disappoint everyone, but I must conclude that the data isn't pointing in any direction. Okay, that's all I have so far. Questions or requests are welcome.